Welcome to No More Wednesdays, a new section in my channel for smaller, shorter videos in which I discuss accessories, equipment, tools, software, things that I know will be very helpful to anyone creating content and films, but I find it hard and difficult to justify creating a long 10 or 15-minute video for. And the first thing I want to talk about is a multi-tool. This is an essential bit of equipment and everybody should have one in their camera bag. I've lost count of how many times this thing has bailed me out. Let me ask you a question. How many times you've been looking for a coin or a screwdriver to tighten a base plate to a camera? Or even worse, how many times you've been in a situation where something has been over-tightened, like a screw, a washer, a plate, and you have no means of loosening that up? It can literally ruin your shoot. And what else can you do with this, you might ask? Well, you have a very useful bottle opener that can be very handy at the end of a very busy filming day. You also get a wire cutter, which is very helpful for when you need to cut or peel an electrical wire. I mean, the pliers, I really don't need to explain how helpful this is for pulling or tightening anything. And you also have a short knife, which is really helpful for opening boxes or making small holes. You also get a Phillips screwdriver, which is really helpful for tightening bolts and nuts. And you get a saw that is really helpful if you need to cut some rope on location, strings, plastic, fabrics, really helpful. You get a file as well, which is not for smoothing your nails, as some people might think, but for smoothing any surfaces or sharp edges after you've done any cutting. And you get a short blade as well, which is really helpful if you need to cut anything to measure. These are just some of the things that you can do with a multi-tool. And there is so many other situations where a multi-tool will become a very handy thing to have. Especially if you're going off-road, or you go camping, or you need to be on location, and God knows where you might need a multi-tool like this. Now, one thing that you need to be really aware of is your local laws and regulations in regards to carrying knives, because a multi-tool has a blade. And it's not a big blade, but it's a blade after all. Now, most places or countries allow you to carry a small knife or a blade if you use it for work. Now, most times you probably don't need to worry about anyone stopping you if you can prove that you are moving in between locations. But I advise anyone that has a multi-tool to do what I do, which is I put in my camera bag inside this pouch and in a corner, so it's tucked away so nobody can suggest that I'm carrying it on me or that I'm a threat to anybody. Now that's how I do it and I've never had any problems, so I highly recommend that you do something like that. Now the question also that you need to ask yourself is, do you need to go for the most expensive multi-tool or a cheap one will do? Now I've got this model, you don't need to go for this one, and I leave links in the comments below, and if you buy from them, they're affiliate links and you'll be helping the channel, so thank you very much in advance. Now you don't need to go for the most expensive multi-tool, okay? They range from $200-300 down to $10 or $15. Now you need to ask yourself, how often are you likely to use this? If you're going to be using it on the occasional film shoot, I would probably recommend that you go for a cheap option, and then over time you will decide if you need something better or more fancy, okay? But if you're the kind of person that is going to be using a multi-tool at all times, whether that's at work or in your everyday life, I recommend that you go for something that is a bit more expensive. The most popular or famous brand that I know is called Leatherman, but you can go from every other one. But you genuinely do get what you pay for. So it all really depends on how often you're going to use it. But for work, for filming on location, in a studio, trust me, this is going to get you out of so many problems and it's going to make your life so easy. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this short video. Let me know in the comments below if you like these kind of short and brief videos. And I'll see you in the next video.